Welcome in. Our next guest on the show, Mr. Venu Nair, MD and CEO at ShopperStop, is with us. Sir, thank you so much for taking out time for us. If you could just first start by just telling us what's happening as far as consumer sentiment is concerned, especially with this inflation. We earlier spoke to a lot of apparel makers who said that they've taken price hikes. How is price hike impacting the consumer sentiment?
Good morning, and thanks for having me on your show. In terms of the market, it has been quite remarkable when the third wave happened and we saw a sharp decline towards the third week of December, which continued pretty much till the second week of Jan. But since then, the recovery has been equally rapid. And when I look at just last week, we're now actually growing over pre-COVID levels. And with the restrictions being relaxed or being completely removed across various parts of the country, we believe that this is going to continue to surge in terms of the demand, in terms of footfalls into the malls, into the stores, as well as the digital sales and the online sales, which had gone up during the COVID period, continuing to hold steady. So combination of these, we see the market and the consumption story to be quite strong in the next 6 to 12 months, because there has been a huge level of pent-up demand, which has not, people have not been able to go out and shop as they would do. They've not been able to travel, and all of that starting to come back. On the other side, equally, there is the impact of people getting back to work, and what we call as, we've coined the phrase wardrobe reboot, which is what we are seeing with post-pandemic consumers buying into categories of apparel other than what they indulged in during the pandemic, as has been well documented. Athleisure, sleepwear, innerwear, these were the categories that did well. As the wardrobe reboot happens, people are now buying into formal wear, they're buying into smart wear, they're buying into weekend wear, and these are all categories that are seeing a surge now. And the fact that there is a movement of people now happening more freely, we believe this will continue to happen. In terms of inflation and the supply chain pressures, and I think that's a fact which has been well reported. I think a lot of it has already got factored in. Price increases have happened in the new year, and we haven't seen a big impact of it, if any. As I said, the sales have been pretty much to the pre-COVID levels, footfalls into stores around the same number. So I think overall that the market has absorbed this increases, given that there has been no increase or it has been flat for almost 2 years. So we believe the impact of that will be minimal.
So when we just look at price hikes and how inflation has been, as you explained what's happening and how things are moving in, just wanted to understand, when you see such hyperinflation, what has happened in past, what has happened in other countries? Are you increasing your reward points to slightly give back or pass on a little bit of cash back to the consumer? How do we generally tend to see the consumer behavior change which has happened in the past?
When these kind of inflation happens, it does get factored into the price to adjust for it. And normally what you would see is an impact on the volume of what people buy. Also, the second factor which does happen when you see prices going up, people and consumers veer towards shopping with brands that they know well, because they can trust the brand. If they are paying more, they want to be getting the conviction and the confidence that they are not they're buying into something good. So brands tend to benefit. And the second factor which also happens is that people go for quality, and quality is a hygiene factor. It's a given as far as concerned. But a lot of the unorganized market could take a little bit of a hit when that happens, when it normally benefits the organized players, because that's where consumers feel confident to make their buy, to invest their money.
Mr. Nair, now you did talk about how there are certain categories and trends that are picking up as we are seeing normalcy return. But I just wanted to understand whether or not you are seeing this trend of, revenge shopping actually returning, because for a long time people were unable to even set foot out, and now you're seeing an absolute reversal with, restaurants packed, hotels, etc. Is that trend being witnessed, and what kind of a bump up could this give your overall sales figure?
Um, I mean, we can call it revenge shopping, or we've used the word wardrobe reboot, which again is a reflection of what people are doing. But the underlying fact is that people are venturing out and are buying and taking advantage of the fact that they are now able to move around freely and indulge in behaviors, shopping, entertainment, which they were not able to do during the period when the market was, the shops were closed or restrictions were there. So to that extent, there is definitely a demand coming back. We also see people buying more when they come in, and we have seen basket values go up consistently over the last few months, and that is holding up. So on the one side, basket sizes are going up, and also even though there have been slight price increases, people are absorbing it. And categories like beauty, and this is one of our big categories, and also beauty is one segment where there is experience to be had, and that is something which is benefiting massively because makeup and makeovers were either curtailed or completely stopped, and customers are now able to come over to the store and experience the same, along with being able to buy on our own website, shopperstop.com, as well as the beauty standalone website we will be coming into. But the fact that people are able to get experience, and that's what a brand like us, a store like us stands for. And that's where customers are spending their money and indulging themselves in. So we expect to see that continue.
Can't ignore the impact of the increased competition. We're seeing a lot of companies, upping their game when it comes to the digital or online shopping experience. I know you spoke of Shopper Stop online, but both offline, online, the omni-channel presence, it is only picking up. So how are you dealing or mitigating the competition?
Over the last 3 years, the shift in retail that has happened is moving from either a pure brick and mortar or a pure online to omni-channel. And that's journey all serious retailers are into. ShopperStop itself is transforming and has moved dramatically into being a true omni-channel retailer. And the simple fact that today, every single one of our 86 department stores, 11 home stop stores, over 120 beauty doors, and the 24 airport doors are all linked to shopperstop.com. And every single product that we sell in these stores are now available on shopperstop.com. So apart from the physical proximity, customers can now choose to also shop online. And that's a big shift that we ourselves have made, moving from being a brick and mortar retailer to an omni-channel retailer, ensuring that the experience customers get in our stores or online is absolutely above par and ahead of what they would get elsewhere. The competition is obviously there and it has always been there. But when we look at the larger economics of the market, the overall size of the Indian retail market is around 6,84,000 crores. And only 29% of that is in the organized sector, which means the headroom for organized retail to grow is dramatic. Even if we take markets like Thailand and Malaysia, there the organized retail is upwards of 50%. We are still at 29%. So on the one side, there is the headroom for just organized retail to move in from unorganized retail or grow into that space. The second factor is as the infrastructure improves, obviously there's also space for people, good outlets, good malls to come up, and that's happening. And third, of course, is the digital space itself coming up and each one improving the experience that customers get online. All of that helps. Specific to ShopperStop, we operate in the premium and masstige space with a big over-indexing in the premium segment. And that's where we have an edge over our competition because we are focused in the premium segment. And for customers in that segment, we offer a very, very sharp offering, which they wouldn't get elsewhere.
Mr. Nair, great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for taking out time and speaking with us. Good to get in that perspective.
Thank you very much.